All right. Hello and welcome to Unbalanced Encounters. We are here with another one of our wonderful little mini arcs, a bonus arc, if you will. And this one, ladies and gents, we're going back in time again. Not to the ancient past, not to the mysterious old realms. Just about 40 or 50 years ago, in the past of a wonderful city named Agravar. And Agravar, if you didn't know, used to be under the control of the Emperor, back before our old buddy Isaac chopped off somebody's head. That's neither here nor there. What is here, though, is a city that is under imperial regime. The military is taking care of things in the city. They're making people go places. They're organizing stuff. They're putting soldiers places. They're trying to establish themselves as the dominant force in this city. But that is neither here nor there, because just below that city, just under the curtain of the many feet of the massive creatures lumbering the streets that normally we would call people, there is another world. A smaller world. A world of varmints and critters, of rats, of capybara, of roaches and birds and reptiles of all shapes, sizes, and alignments. And that is the world that our story is going to take place in today. On the mean streets of Agravar, family is a powerful word, and these critters are about to learn just how powerful it can be. In Unbalanced Encounters' new bonus arc, Cheeky Blighters. We are joined by none other than Emily Graymore, who plays Safra Harissa.
Hello!
Sam Oliver, who plays Juniper Snowthorn.
Hey!
And a very special guest today, Becca, aka Caustic Phoenix of D20 Deathmatch.
Hey.
Becca.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited to have you. Now let us dive into this little world of varmints and critters for a very big adventure. About family?
Yeah.
Not too long ago, there was an unusual creature that came to Agravar. A snake. But this snake, unlike most snakes that wander the streets and go hunting for creatures and figuring out good places to hibernate, this snake lived a life of luxury. This snake was under the care of a magnificent, massive human, maybe even 3.5 feet tall. An ancient creature, 7, 8 years old even, that goes by the name of Lucy. And Lucy loved this snake. But then, one day, Lucy didn't come to say hello to this little old snake. In fact, instead, Lucy's parents. If Lucy is an ancient creature, these things are beyond ancient. Maybe double in her size, each step they take crashing like thunder against this small little snake's cage. And they took this little creature and they released it out into the wild. And for a long time, maybe even a week or so,
Eons.
this strange little snake has been trying to figure out how to survive for her first time in the wild, in the strange, unusual jungle of the underbelly, the urban streets of Agravar. Sam, could you describe your character for us?
Yes. So my character is Blueberry. She is a small ball python She's about, I don't know, a little over a foot long. She's not very big. She's kind of like a purpley bluish color with big, big, big terrified eyes. Just scared all the time.
Aww.
First she tried to find how to get back home. And that didn't work out very well. There were just like these huge feet that just kept coming down on her, and so she kept really tight to the buildings. And on her like way through the alleys, staying close to the buildings, she saw a bunch of capybara that ran through, and she tried to hide. She spent some time, like a really long time, maybe like 2 hours in a can, like all curled up, trying to hide from everything. And then she tried to find food because she discovered that she was actually hungry. And she doesn't really like go hungry. She just like, even the thought, and usually her food just appears. Lucy's just always there with food. So she went to go find food, and she assumed that she could find a human that could give her a little bit of food.
After wandering the streets, slithering the streets, I should say, I think Blueberry would have noticed that most people would have either paid her no mind or kind of given her a wide berth. But she would come to realize that there were places where humans put food. It wasn't exactly the same presentation of what she was given by Lucy, but there were these strange, unusual, giant cylinders, little holes in them, and a bunch of fabric and stuff that you'd have to tear through. But inside that fabric was a whole mishmash of stuff, papers and bits of leather and sometimes odd bits of metal or bone. But amongst that stuff was scraps of food. And on this particular night, you find yourself in a back alley behind a strange human building that glows with a sign that could only really be described as what looks like the night sky, a crescent moon.
So beautiful.
And there's some scribbles next to it that probably mean something in human. It's not clear to you. As you start to make your way through the trash behind this little structure that smells sort of like what Lucy's kitchen would sometimes smell like when her mom would make cookies, you see two creatures, and you see them waiting, not going into the wonderful cans of trash that you've gotten to know, but waiting by the human door.
Oh my god, so brave.
Emily, could you describe your character?
Angie is a pigeon, if you can still call her that. The kind of pigeon you see on the streets that looks like it's been through a lot. Kind of really scrappy, really scruffy, like feathers are sort of kind of broken, or like, you know, they look kind of greasy and weird. And the most notable thing about her is that one of her legs is now a peg leg, a washing peg leg, so she can still use it to grip. The problem with Angie is she can't really fly anymore after the incident, which we don't talk about. And she's there with her peg leg and with a tiny little bottle cap sort of just strapped to her wing, head cocked, maybe looks a bit vacant. Oh, can Angie have a top hat?
Yeah, do you want like a wide brim top hat?
Nah, just like one of the kind of like straight up and down.
Like Scrooge?
Yeah, like a Scrooge top hat. And then like a little waistcoat. I'll have that. It's very scruffy looking. You know, like in the old cartoons where it looks like a can is open, like the top of the...
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Angie.
Hello.
You have been around the block before. One might say you've been around the block all your life. What have you been doing on the streets that led you to being here with this unusual furry little creature?
Well, ever since the incident, Angie has had to learn how to fend for herself on the ground. That's something that the rest of the pigeons don't really help her with, and she kind of got a bit shunned. And so kind of developed a bit of a thick skin, went around, found out like who was trustworthy, who wasn't. It was hard at first, don't get me wrong. She learnt some few hard lessons, and one of the reasons why she's even scruffier now than she was at the beginning of this journey. And through her sort of exploration of the ground and kind of finding where the safe parts were, she was hiding from a particularly bad rainstorm one day, looking particularly bedraggled and very sorry for herself, when this door just opened. This amazing golden light kind of fell upon her, and she thought, this is it, this is the end. This is how I go. This is this is the heavens calling me. But instead of her being taken somewhere by whatever angels exist, bread started crumbling down around her. So she now thinks it's a bit of a blessing and has returned to this place ever since. And yeah, it's been very fortunate, and she's been very protective of this because she thinks it's for her, and this is like her lucky break.
Tonight, for the first time, you have a guest.
I do.
You've brought someone with you to this special safe haven in the dirty, smoky streets. Becca, could you tell us about the little bat that is with Angie the Pigeon?
Yes. So, quite so, swept in to town from a vicious storm that separated her from her family. Blew her in this tiny little fruit bat. Big brown eyes, soft baby fuzz all around, that cute little dog snout with a little pink tongue that somehow never seems to stay in her lips. Just hangs out from the side from time to time. And she has wandered, flying around, looking for home, for family. Occasionally finding a rat or two to help out, but nothing everlasting, nothing ever feeling like home, feeling like love. She always tries to look her best because first impressions matter. Her faded plum beret, slightly askew on her head, a tiny yellow cloak neatly tied into a bow around her neck, that softly hide when she tucks her wings in around her body, that holds herself when she stands still. Small little hugs for oneself. She finds herself standing on the ground quite awkwardly as her feet feel very uncomfortable on the concrete, these bricks, next to Angie. What are we waiting for?
Oh, just you wait. You'll see in a minute. This whole big golden light opens up, and then we are just showered in bread. Best thing.
That's so awfully nice of you to share this with me. And she'll kind of snuggle up right next to you in this side saddle of a hug that she's giving you.
I think Angie is like, that's all right, kid. You stick with me, and I'll look after you. It's all right. It's a rough world out here, but I got you. And I'm going to put a very kind of tatty, kind of stinky wing around you. Give you a bit of a pat.
As you guys wait in this moment, you find a trash can lid that's kind of tilted, angled against the wall that creates a little bit of lean-to that you can hide under to avoid the rain. The streets, even in this special place, are a little bit dangerous. It's good to keep your eyes and ears open. And you guys hear a rustling coming from some of the garbage cans. Sounds like someone or something drawing near. Could I get either of you or both of you to roll perception checks for me?
Indeed.
Sure. 15.
Oh, a 15 as well, funnily
Hey.
enough. There you go.
I've been learning from you.
Yeah.
Blueberry, are you trying to be hidden in this moment?
Yeah.
All right, give me a stealth check.
Ooh.
Some weird looking mice.
Who are you calling a mouse?
That's it's a 17.
There was a noise you heard. You're sure of it. You look around. You don't see anything. In fact, the noise was close enough that you feel like whatever it was, you should have seen. but there's just nothing there. But before you have too much time to think about it, you hear a massive sound. Clunk! As a door larger than life, reaching up almost to the sky beyond where you can see, slowly pulls open, and you see, boom, all three of you, this beam of light emit out, and pushed behind it, a feeling of warm air. And standing, basked in this light, is a figure. A human, a pretty tall human. I mean, they're all tall, but this one seems tall for a human. And almost as round as he is tall. A massive figure that he walks sort of like a goose as he steps out into the alley. And he looks down and looks directly at you, Angie.
All right, kid. Watch and learn. Angie's going to kind of shuffle out into the light, take off her top hat, hold it in front of her chest, and look up with the most hideous puppy dog eyes she can possibly, like, pull for.
Since your eyes are at the side of your head, do you have to, like, turn your head back and forth to get them both?
That's why pigeons do that when they're in front of you. What? Please, sir, can I have some more? I'm gonna stay.
He looks down at you and he says, wah, 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 wah. And he takes out a loaf of bread and he starts to pull chunks off, each one maybe the size of your head. And in a way that, Blueberry, you notice this as a little bit unusual, but in a way that almost reminds you of Lucy, he doesn't throw them on the ground. He leans down very slowly. He gets pretty close, and he places them on the ground in front of Angie and this other little creature, Shoo. And when he does, he sort of stops for a second, and he looks at Shoo. And he looks at Angie. Wah, 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 wah.
Oh. She'll take off her beret and walk, like, hop forward with the small beret.
I'm like, come on.
Oh.
This is Shoo. Shoo.
Oh. Shoo.
She needs bread as well. Thanks.
Thank you.
And he tears off a chunk, puts it down in front of her, and then he holds up a finger, and he looks behind him and says, wah, 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 wah. And he steps back into the restaurant.
This is new.
The door slowly closes, but it's open about an inch or so, with light still beaming in.
Oh,
Angie's like stuffing the bread in the hat, and some of it's just falling out the bottom because of the...
In and out.
Like a kid with an Easter egg basket, and look, they just keep falling out every time they bend over. That's all.
DM.
Mm-hmm.
Can I look around? Is there anything near me that looks like it could go on my head?
Make a perception check.
Oh, you're gonna make yourself a hat? That's so cute.
12.
12?
Yeah.
Yeah. There are, well, it depends on how nice of a hat you want to make, but there's all sorts of scraps. I mean, there's giant garbage cans that are tore open around you. So there's little bits of foil, there's parts of bone, there's bits of fabric from the textile shop nearby.
Oh, that's perfect. I'm gonna take a little piece of foil and I'm gonna kind of push it together and make like a little triangle hat. And I'll use like with my tail, and then I'm gonna put it on my head and slither out. Is he coming back?
Hey, who's this? Who's this? Hey, this is my spot. Hey, and she's gonna like puff up her chest. Hey.
I'm sorry.
Wing in front of Shoo.
I'm sorry. And I'll use my tail to pick up my little tinfoil hat and hold it out. I'm sorry. I'm just looking for some food. I'm just looking for it. Please don't eat me.
Me? Eat you?
Yeah. I listen. I don't know where I am. But that place is It seems warm in there, and how did you get... He dropped food, he didn't stomp on you. How?
Oh my, we got all sorts of tenderfoots in this town today, eh? Hey, Shoo.
I don't have feet.
That's
yeah.
true, Angie. I don't see a single toe on her.
That's a good point, you know.
What happened to all your feet? Did you lose them?
I don't think so.
Are you gonna grow feet later then?
Maybe?
Listen. You know, it's not all bad if you lose feet. I mean, I've lost one. Look at this. Conk. Like, taps a peg.
We could find you one like that. Do you want that?
I don't... I think I'm good. Lucy says I'm perfect the way that I am, so I don't think I need to change. How'd you lose your foot?
We don't talk about the incident. But you know what, kid? Kind of with a flourish, put the top hat full of bread on her
She'll
head.
mimic you and put her tinfoil hat on.
You know what? You've got spunk, and you've got skills. And I like that. Yeah, spunk and skills. Write that down, Shoo.
Skills.
Angie really likes those things. She's mentioned them several times in the short time I've known her.
That's right. I'm glad you've been listening, kid.
I got notes.
Oh, okay. Maybe I can borrow them later.
My
But
notes?
I tell you what.
Yeah.
I can't read them, but you can have them.
Okay.
This is like little kids being like, I'll teach you how to ride a bicycle, because they like rode a bicycle one time. The door to the restaurant swings open again, and you see the human, and he sort of sighs in a way that is a little different than what you've heard before. His expression, humans are strange creatures. They're very emotional. And he says, he looks down, and then he sees Blueberry, and he kind of double takes,
Top hat. Tinfoil hat off.
kind of like rubs his forehead, holds up a finger again. Wah, wah.
Maybe he doesn't like that you don't have another foot. Here, and Shoo will hop on over and kind of just hip right next to you, and it kind of lend you her leg.
Oh, thank you. At least I have one. Right
Yeah, you can borrow this one whenever you need it.
now. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
My name is Blueberry. What's your name?
Blueberry. I'm Shoo. This is Angie. Am I supposed to be quiet out of reverence still?
Nah, I think it's all right. I think the bread gods seem to be pretty happy.
Bread gods.
Who's to know? Who's to say?
Wow.
Fickle creatures is the bread gods.
The door swings back open, and you see the human, and he has a napkin in his hand, and he takes something on it, and he puts it on the ground in front of you guys. A small cake with paper foil sort of wrapped around the side, a bit of icing on top. Most humans would call this a cupcake, but no cup of your size could hold such a cake.
Holy shit, I think we've hit the jackpot. I think
It's
I'll have you two round more often.
Oh,
Beautiful.
And then he takes off the napkin something else and places it on the ground in front of Blueberry. And it looks to be a quail egg.
See, you just needed an extra leg.
that's it. It's the answer to everything.
And then he does something, Angie, that you've never seen him do before. He slowly slumps and then, poof, with his whole body, thuds down on the ground, puts his back up against the doorway, and with a deep sigh and an almost mourning in his voice, a whoa, wah wah, 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 wah. And he just sits there.
Do we pray to him?
No, I think he just wants to see us eat it.
Oh.
You know, because if he gave us stuff and we turned it down, that'd be rude, right? So we just gotta, like,
Okay.
eat some stuff. Yeah, Shoo, get the icing looks good.
Yeah! And you kind of see suddenly her arms with the wings pop out as she runs towards it in a weird waddle sort of way. Ah, these look so good! And she just, without mannerisms, just plunges her face into the side of this cupcake.
Fuck me, that's cute. God damn.
You hear a deep bellowing noise from the human as he chuckles at you doing that.
There you go, see, he likes it.
Happy.
She'll just kind of
happy noise.
bash her head into it a few more times.
Angie, you can either make an animal handling check, or Blueberry, you can make an insight check to try to read this human.
11.
13.
With an 11, it's clear that there's something off with him tonight. He seems like he just seems a little bit off. With a 13, you recognize the look on his face. You've seen this look on Lucy's face before. He is stressed about something. There is something that is weighing heavy on him. And just as that clicks in your mind, you guys hear, coming from inside the restaurant, bang, 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 a loud knock on the door. And then it opening and the sounds of other humans. Wah, 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 and a bang on the table. And you see him turn, and through the kitchen, you see walking through the pastry shop into the back kitchen, 3 humans. These humans are dressed like soldiers. Blueberry, you would recognize that immediately because there are soldiers that regularly frequent Lucy's estate when they have to do dealings with her parents.
Not nice.
And they're holding a piece of paper and banging on it and yelling, wah, 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 wah. And he's like, wah, 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 wah. And he looks at you guys, and they're just banging on the table. And one of them has their sword, and they're sort of like swinging it back and forth menacingly. He looks at you guys. Then he takes off his chef's hat. He puts it on the ground. Wow, 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 wow. Steps inside, closes the door, leaves his chef's hat outside.
Oh, no.
I mean, hats are pretty important. Why would you leave it outside? How's he gonna get food?
Maybe we're supposed to put food inside their hat, we put food inside ours.
Yeah, is he hungry? He doesn't look that hungry, but maybe...
You can't actually see inside from the ground, but there is a window if you wanted to, like, scamper up to peek in.
I'm gonna do that. Like, kind of chicken jump, kind of...
Elegant. Smooth.
They're arguing back and forth for a little bit. The human that seems to run this place is rubbing his head, and with a heavy sigh, you see his shoulders slump, him undo his apron, him turn off the lights, and him leave with the soldiers, leaving behind that piece of paper that they were banging on the table.
What's going on?
He didn't seem hungry. He seemed sad.
Yeah,
Oh.
But he was out here.
he was definitely acting odd. Never seen that happen before. Go flutter down.
Those uniform humans, they're not nice.
Oh.
They're not very nice.
Are they bad?
Yeah. Yeah, like they don't give you food. They don't want to touch you. They got really heavy shoes. Like really heavy shoes.
Those are like the ones that gave me my name. Yeah, they kept yelling, Shoo! Shoo! And so,
Well,
that's me.
I'll be honest, I ain't had many good run-ins with them myself. And like you said, big boots, eh? I don't like that they took away our god.
I don't either.
God's important. Is that, oh my God, was Lucy a god?
You had a god?
I think I had a god.
Well, if we don't get our god back, we ain't gonna eat.
Can all of you roll me a perception check, please?
I got a 14 on perception.
How's a 3 sound?
Yeah. I got 12.
Blueberry, you haven't been dealing with human concerns in a little while, and it's almost exciting to be again. So you're kind of focused on that. And Shoo, this is just a crazy situation in general. But Angie, amidst this happening, you hear that rustle again from the trash. That wasn't Blueberry. Blueberry was almost too good at hiding from even making that sort of noise. She's a slitherer. She's not a scurrier. Capybara's scurry.
Fucking capybara.
And you see, twiddling a very long goatee, wearing a tight-fitting bowler's hat, and twirling a cane, a rat. Just sort of standing watching you guys.
Do I recognize this rat?
You recognize the bowler hat.
Oh.
Shoo, you recognize this as a member of the rat family that you were once, for a brief period of time, almost made a part of.
Oh.
The scavenger dandies.
Scavenger dandies? Oh,
They're back! And Shoo will quickly hop behind the chef's hat. The dandies! I'm not coming back!
Hey, what's all this? She's gonna puff up her chest again and kind of hold out her wings in front of Shoo and Blueberry. Hey!
I'm gonna pick up my egg and slither behind Angie.
What do you want, rat?
Man, not trying to cause any trouble, see? Just kind of curious what you been up to, Shoo? Seems like you made some new friends. Nice little joint you got here. We've been eyeing this place for a while.
You can't have it. Plus he's gone, so nothing left.
Hey, and this is my spot anyway. Who the hell are you coming up here saying this is your spot? Hey?
Mm-hmm.
And don't talk to Shoo. Shoo's in my gang now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is mammal business, see? Keep your feathered problems for yourself.
Hey! I ain't taking none of that.
Don't let him
My
call me a
turn.
mammal. I don't want to be a mammal.
I won't let him. Don't worry, Shoo. Don't you worry.
He kind of stopped twirling his cane and kind of leans forward on it. This is a big rat. He is looking down at all of you. You say he's been taken, eh?
Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, Blueberry's gonna swallow her egg really quick.
Yeah, he's gone. There's nothing left for anyone else anyway.
He took all the food with him.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I guess that's all I needed to know.
Good. Then go away.
Can I do a perception or an insight check, I think? Actually,
Yeah, sure.
on- Oh, shit. 23.
Yes.
That was a nat 20, by the way. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not being sly.
Suck it, you dandy.
He doesn't seem to be upset or bothered by any of the information you're sharing. He also doesn't seem particularly surprised by it.
Angie, I think you know something.
Should we be worried? I mean, it's just one rat.
Man, you got nothing to worry about, kid.
Exactly. He's just a glorified mouse anyway.
I'm just keeping it. Hey,
Yeah, you heard.
why don't you fly up here and tell me about it?
Shut up, you!
I'm just here on behalf of the boss, making sure everything's all right. Y'all have a nice night. And he turns to leave and starts twiddling his cane as he starts making his way, scurrying down the street.
Yeah, that can't be good. That can't be good at all. When they're looking into things, that means things are much bigger.
So would Angie know that food businesses generally tend to close down when rats are found nearby? So I reckon that was their racket.
Make an animal handling check. We are using animal handling checks for anything that's related to human stuff, just so you guys know.
Ooh, a 22.
Yeah, one of the reasons why this place has been so special to you is that, generally speaking, when a human that works in the world of culinary things, when they work in the world of food, they don't like animals being around the space. If there's rats found in a business over a long period of time, either that business is going to fall apart or those rats are going to be killed.
Shoo. Was that a friend?
Oh, not really a friend. I guess you could say not that one in particular. He was higher up. I never got to know his name. But they were kind of family. I thought they were family, but then it turns out I wasn't family. Even though I called them family, they didn't call me family. And so I got really hurt.
I'm sorry.
They're not good. They're really scary, and they'll do whatever it takes to get whatever they want.
Oh.
I don't like them rats come round here, making Shoo feel bad. Taking away our food. I think we should get to the bottom of this.
You mean go into the rat's nest?
Well, maybe not go in. Maybe we can solve what's going on from the outside.
Oh.
I really like you guys. You're the nicest animals that I've met since we've been out here. Have you met the capybaras? They're awful. Oh, God.
Shoo, you would know that the rats hate the capybaras, and they are basically at war with each other for control of the sewers and control of the garbage in the city.
Well, Blueberry, you should stick with us because it's really dangerous. You can still keep my leg. That way each of us gets one leg.
Oh, that's so nice. You guys are so nice. Oh, but I miss my Lucy. I miss
Listen,
my God.
Kid, with your skills and with your smarts, Shoo, and with my charm, we can get you back to Lucy, get you back to your family, Shoo, and then maybe even get me flying again. And we can solve this bloody rat thing and maybe get our food back.
Oh, go help the chef god.
Yeah. If we find one god, then maybe we can find your god next.
Oh, maybe they all know each other.
They could. Listen, Blueberry. And she will try to grab your face and squish your cheeks down closer to bring you eye to eye. It's a scary world, so we have to be together, and you're gonna be my sister, and we're gonna look after each other, just like Angie looks after me, and Angie is my sister, and so you two are sisters, and now we are sisters.
Okay.
Okay, and she'll release your face.
Okay.
This is such a nice hat, but it's too big for any of us to wear, or all of us to wear together, so we should give it back to him.
I like that. That's why I keep you around, Shoo.
I have big brains.
Very, very. We bring it inside?
Oh, how do we open the archway?
Let me get back up to that window, see what I can do.
Okay.
Gonna jump up to that window and see if there's like a latch or like the glass is flimsy or something.
If you want to go up to the latch, you see that it is one of those windows that can pop open.
Okay.
So you could potentially get something to reach underneath it to pop it back open so you could climb in. You also spot from the window that there are vents throughout the space.
All right, Shoo, Blueberry, see if you can find me something I can like grab, like a long pole or like metal thing or something.
Okay.
Okay.
Here. And Shoo will hop onto the tail of Blueberry. Flip me into one of the trash cans.
Okay.
I would like to try to somersault land inside.
Amazing.
Why don't you make an acrobatics check with advantage? And Blueberry, how are you helping Shoo?
I'm gonna wrap my tail around her and overhand fling her up with my tail.
Amazing. Shoo, give me an acrobatics check with advantage.
18.
Oh, nice.
Shoo, you're still young. You're not the best flyer, but in this moment, you soar. As with Blueberry's help, you glide, and you have your choice of trash cans. You see one that looks like it's full of stuff from the restaurant, bits of maybe food scrap and whatever broken plates and things. And then the other trash can is a bit larger, and it's from the textile building right next door.
That is the one I want. I want to look for a hanger or a big needle.
Collapse into a big thing of fabric and stuff. Easily enough, you find a bunch of you find old bent clothes hangers that look like they're snapped. There is a knitting needle that looks like it just got broken in half by something. There's a whole bunch of weird little objects knickknacks and stuff to mess with.
Since this is a treasure trove, right, if you're looking on the outside, you just start seeing all these things being flung out as if it's just being rejected in this firestorm. Here, there's another one. One of this.
Blueberry's trying to catch all of them.
All right. Yeah, and you find a perfect looking big hunk of wire. I will also say that if any of you want to take any of these objects that you find to wield in another way that you think would be logical for your size, you can, because there are pieces of wire here that could essentially be short swords. There's pieces of wire here that could be clubs or mauls. You could even get some of the softer wire or string if you're looking for rope. So if there are any bits of supply you want to collect for breaking in or doing any of this stuff, you can do those things.
How are you gonna get out of there, Shoo?
And you hear silence from the trash can, like all that rummaging around, nothing for a minute. Like,
Dug deeper. Like,
yeah,
oh,
like,
shit.
I'm really burying myself now.
Is there a ledge where Angie is?
There's a big dumpster with like piled up cardboard and stuff that Angie kind of scampered up. That's on the other side. So Angie could like look down and see Shoo peeking over a trash can.
I got an idea. I'd like to get like a spool of thread and throw it over while I hold the end piece.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I would say an athletics check or a D20 plus your dex.
I'll try athletics. Oof, 19.
Nice.
You succeed. Describe the shot.
It's this beautiful, bright pink spool of thread, and it just catches Shoo's eyes. Oh, it's gorgeous. We have to keep it. And she yeets it over while holding the other piece. Now pull me over to safety, thank you.
Okay. And I'll slither up and like wrap it around my body a couple times and start slithering backwards.
It's a noodle dress.
Yeah.
I love it.
Awesome. Working together, you guys pull Shoo up out of the trash can, using your wings to kind of help that pendulum swing not be as aggressive. You sort of bump into the side of the dumpster and scamper your way up the rest. And now all of you, wire in hand, are peeking in this window, and you see the kitchen of a bakery. You see mixing bowls. You see big sacks of flour, sacks of sugar, something that just looks like a wall of eggs. Honestly, in any other situation, this would be like a smorgasbord beyond smorgasbords. You also see the front of the restaurant, the door locked, and that letter on the table, as well as the chef's apron.
Blueberry's gonna keep the pink thread wrapped around her, and before she climbed up, she definitely grabbed like a splinter from the broken crochet knitting or thing and like stuck it in there with her tail to be a dagger.
Nice.
Awesome.
Stabby.
I like it.
All right, so what do you guys want to do?
All right, you grab that end. That's it, Shoo. You grab that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Blueberry. You might have to wrap around or bite it or something. But right, let me try and I basically want to like get it underneath and try and hook it around the latch in some way, and we can all kind of pull or push together to get it. Poop.
Are any of you proficient in thieves' tools by chance?
I am. Wait. Yes, I am.
All right, this will be a thieves' tools check.
Amazing.
And if everyone is helping, you can make that check with advantage.
So 18 in total.
18?
Mm-hmm.
15 is what you needed.
Yes.
It swings open. The weight of the window itself kind of like pops itself back. You all kind of step back a little bit so you don't get like knocked off. And while all of the ovens and stuff have been turned off, there still is ambient warmth coming from the space, and that smell of cookies and pastries and powdered sugar kind of just like in the air. And you see below you the kitchen.
This is definitely Evan.
It tastes like home.
Shoo's little wet puppy dog nose is just going wild. You see it wiggling. You had home smell like this?
Yeah. That's
All right, stop
like
making us
cookies.
jealous.
Listen, I can't help it.
All right, in we go. I'm gonna chicken jump down.
And you find yourself in this kitchen. It's dark. It's a little bit hard to see. There's still ambient light coming in from the city lights around you. And you can see through like the big front. You can, even in the kitchen, it's not a huge spot. You can see the storefront and this big pane glass window, the rain sort of running down it, and like ambient light from carriages and humans going about their evenings.
I just want to do an investigation. I want to see if there's any evidence of like rats or roaches in the kitchen.
Yeah, sure.
In general.
I would say you can do this would be a survival check or an investigation check or survival or investigation, your choice.
I want to try to open the door.
The back door or the front door?
The door where the chef's hat is.
Oh yeah, we didn't bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
Could you give me an athletics check, Blueberry, to like climb up and wrap around the handle, pop it open? And what did you get, Angie?
Oh, sorry, 16.
Creatures of the city are very clever. They figure out how to get almost everywhere. But there is noticeably not only no sign of rats, no sign of attempts for rats to come in. You could see often around the vents where the woodwork meets the metalwork, sometimes the nibbling of teeth marks, something to indicate that somebody would have tried to break in here. The rats know about this place. Not a sign of them. Blueberry, what you get on your athletics check?
A 7. I got this. Oh, darn.
You are not able to get that door open.
Missing a body. How are you guys doing over there?
Oh. And at this time, I mean, just because of the sheer massiveness of it and seeing all of these options, Shoo hasn't left the floor where we've landed. She's still just kind of circling around looking at everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shoo, make me a perception check or investigation check.
Perception it is. It's a 6. Uh-huh.
There is more delicious flavored things here than you have ever seen in one place before, including that one time the scavenger dandies had you go through an alley where you saw where they had some of their food storage in one of the sewer sections. Like, this puts that to shame. But it's also a little bit intimidating. There's all this like bits of metal, and it's very enclosed. You're a bat. It's not always fun having a hard, solid roof over your head. It's hard when there's not things that your claws can easily grip into. It's like, a dog running on linoleum. You know what I mean? Like, it's a slippy, slidey place.
How long do we have to stay here? What are we looking for? Oh.
Well,
Okay.
this is a bit of a conundrum.
Aw.
'Cause it don't look like there's been no rats, or not even any roaches in here. So I don't know why they would have stormed him off like that. Because usually when they storm off people with those kind of hats off, it's because there's rats and roaches in the place.
So something else. There has to be like a clue or a warning or something that they left, right?
All right, kid, calm down. She's gonna, shake you with her wings. Calm down. It's all right, calm down.
What are we calming down about?
You know what? I don't know. But Shoo is right. As the brains of the operation, we need to find the clue.
Right.
A clue.
Let's see what that paper there says. The one that they were shaking. I'm going to try. Is it up on the table, you said?
Oh, yeah.
Is there an easy way for me to get up onto that table?
Not really.
Dang.
Can I try to, swirl up the table leg to get there?
Yeah, I will say that because you are a snake, we'll just say that when there's a situation where it would be logical for you to be able to climb something, you have a climb speed. But, much like you used to climb the piece of driftwood that was in your tank that Lucy brought home when she went on vacation, you wrap your way up one of the table legs easy enough.
What's up there? Is there the thing?
There is it just the piece of paper on the table?
There's his apron, which is wrapped up in a ball that is sort of covering most of the paper. And then there is the paper. And the paper looks like, you can't see that much of it right now. You can see some human writing sticking out from the side, but it looks like a couple pieces of paper, pinned together.
I'll throw it down. And she'll chomp on it and try to pull it out from the apron.
You go to bite the paper to start pulling it out, and your eyes catch something on it that make you freeze. You can't read human writing. Who can? It's crazy. It's nonsense, right?
It scribbles.
It scribbles. But Lucy used to help decorate your cage, and she didn't really do much human writing either. She would draw pictures. And you see something you haven't seen for a long time. The paper that Lucy would tape to your cage, all of it along the top had this same sort of curvy symbol. A letterhead with a family crest sort of emblem on top. This paper has the same exact letterhead.
Oh, I think my god kidnapped the chef god.
Hey?
What?
I can't get the paper. It's stuck.
I didn't hear her right? There's no Lucy kidnapped Lucy, the good one?
Yeah. There's I can't read whatever's drawn on here, but I can see there's a picture that Lucy has all the time, and it's on here too.
Oh.
So it might be from her.
Oh. That's not good. There has to be more on there, right? I can't read. Angie, can you read it?
See if you can knock it instead of pull it. Maybe you can knock it all down.
Knock it.
Blow it off the table. No idea what the lung capacity of a tiny snake is, but
I'll try to push it, put like all of it. I just want to try to push it all off the table.
Yeah, I'll say if you're using your whole body as a snake and like trying to wrap around it and like knock it off, there is a chance that you will fall with it, but you could either roll an athletics check with advantage or you could make an acrobatics check.
Let's go acrobatics for funs.
Okay.
Yes, it's an 18.
Nice.
With an 18, you wrap around the apron, sort of scrunching the paper in, and tilt over the side. With your tail, you manage to hold on so you don't tumble off with it, but the whole thing comes spilling out to the ground. The papers kind of scatter.
Oh, hey, oh.
Look out!
Angie, you recognize not the words, but a symbol. You've seen it around the city many times. There is letterhead on the top that looks like the letterhead of an imperial crest, which you have seen on like the front gate of certain very important people in the city. And there is a big red stamp with very little bits of embroidery. It's like a fancy looking, almost wax looking stamp that is the stamp of the Imperial Army. There's a military stamp on whatever this is.
This is getting more problems and deeper and deeper. I don't know. Oh! Hang on. If we can gather this up, I've got someone we can take it to that could read it to us.
what? You have a reader? You know a reader? They're like magic.
Yeah, she's real cool. She's real cool. She used to give me food and that when I was first, after the incident. But she was really nice to me, and I actually could understand her a little bit. So maybe she could read it to us.
Oh, we should definitely take it. Should we just roll this up?
Yeah, let's see. She's gonna kind of try and like bundle it up and kind of like put it under her wing, or use a little bit of the pink string just to kind of like tie it together and just kind of like keep it.
Cool.
Right.
We're in a restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a pastry shop, but yes.
Pastry shop. Is there something like a plastic spork or something I could take with me as a weapon?
Yeah, there's plastic ones, there's metal ones. There's also like little knives for like little butter knives, like the mini ones that are, what I'm talking about? Like the tiny ones that you put like on a butter tray.
Yeah. I feel like the metal ones might be too heavy that I wouldn't be able to fly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll stick with, I'm going to go with the plastic spork. Because at least there's some stabbing capability.
Yeah.
But could a spork also double as a shield with the rounded part in it?
If you wanted to say you're wielding it in such a way that it's taking both of your hands to wield, but it's acting sort of as a weapon and a shield at the same time, I think that's totally legit.
Cool. Yes.
Like parrying with it.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So, armed with little needles and sporks and mysterious paper.
Tinfoil hats.
And fueled with cupcakes and tinfoil hats.
We are on a sugar rush right now.
Yes.
Kids having too much sugar. Bad.
Yeah, it's still raining outside, but the night is young and the city is alive, both with humans and animals. The three of you find yourself alone in this little pastry shop, closed early. The human that showed you some kindness seemed run out by other humans.
We must find the reader.
The reader. Yes.
Yeah, she might have some more pointers on what it says.
Mm-hmm.
All this weird scribble stuff, And hopefully it means that Lucy didn't kidnap our chef man.
Mm-hmm.
It seems really out of character for her to do something like that.
Is like Lucy really big and strong?
No, I mean she's bigger than me. No, she's a lot smaller than that guy.
Okay. Yeah, then we should go to the reader.
I don't know what her motive would be either. I mean, she really likes cookies and baked goods, but I don't know if she... Yeah, let's go to the reader.
Follow me.
Angie, this is a path you've taken many times before. So you guys scamper up the cutting boards and sacks of things and cabinets, make your way to the window that is now propped open by a bit of clothes wire, and you tumble back out into the night street. The rain hitting your fur and scales and feather respectively. And the night is yours. Angie, you know the way. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is, how do you want to make your way through the city? It is night in the city, and even though you are small, it is still the city. There are people out and about, there are carriages, there are horses, and then there are also maybe rats, maybe insects, a couple giant centipedes. There are things that come out at night, like you guys, but also everything comes out at night in Agravar.
I think Angie will do what she usually does and goes sort of the most unnoticeable way, and the way that she knows she's not going to get run over or like kicked or like avoid the rat's nests. Kind of like she'll know a sort of safer route to the park.
We gotta be real careful. There's this guy out here that has like these big green cabbages. He's got a cart. He doesn't look where he's going. So we gotta be careful of that guy.
Okay. I'm having a hard time keeping up, as her small little bat legs were not really made for walking. And while she crawls a little bit on this, I'm going to take the high ground and just scream if you need me.
Aye, aye, Captain. Angie's going to keep walking. I'm assuming you're going to be like flying above us.
Yeah, just a little flutter up above. Not too far, still within sight distance.
Have you guys seen a bat fly?
Yeah.
They do not like fly.
No, it's...
They like...
Yeah.
They're
very
like
erratic. Yes.
I love it.
All right. I would like a perception check from Shoo, and I would like a stealth or survival check from Angie.
A 7.
7?
I will do stealth for an 18.
Okay. You guys start making your way, avoiding the human main roads, through alleys and gutters, under fire escapes, places where the rain is a little bit out of the way, but there's also just not a lot of traffic, human or animal. And you're about to turn a corner. You hear the sound of two figures talking. Hey, so, what are we supposed to do about this, boss? I don't know, but it just don't seem right to me. Don't seem right at all. And you turn and you see two massive figures, maybe a foot tall, foot and a half tall, wearing little leather jackets, and one of them is sort of playing back and forth with like a little butterfly knife. Two capybaras that seem to be in discussion about something. Something's going on that they're unsure of. You notice them before they notice you.
I think Angie, obviously, like you said, ducked back round and like grabbed onto Blueberry and was like, shh.
What, these rats think they own the fucking place? Hey, enough with the language. This is a kid's show. I'm sorry. They're not going to the meets. They're cutting off supply. They're up to something. Hey, what are we going to do about it? We're just two guys. We ain't the big boss. Let's find somebody to, get the jump on, maybe get a little bit of energy out. I've been tired. I've been lazy. My blade needs some blood on it. Yeah, maybe you got to see somebody about that. That's a weird thing to feel. Hey.
Is there any way I can kind of like try and subtly kind of like wave Shoo down?
That is up to you. What would you like to try to do?
I think I think Angie is just gonna kind of like try and like wave her wings around, just be like, okay, come. God damn it. Hey.
If you're trying to communicate through waves and gestures, that's a performance check.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yes.
She's just equally responding.
Oh shit. A 19.
Shoo, at first you see Angie doing this awesome dance, and you're like,
Yeah.
Semaphore, like.
why haven't I seen this side of you before? And then you notice that she is trying to tell you to come down, like in a very quickly emergency mode.
Oh. And almost immediately, those wings zip close to her body, and she rockets down to land very close. We're fast. Not a problem. Yeah. Smashes into a wall. It's fine. It's fine. You said get down, so I got down as quickly as possible. Is everything okay? Shh. Oh, okay.
Hey, did you hear something over there?
Oh, God.
No. I think I did. Let's go check it out. Maybe somebody needs a little bit of messing up. Maybe we have ourselves some fun tonight.
I wish I had passed without a trace.
You guys have a round before these creatures turn the corner.
Woo.
So everybody has an action, a bonus action, and movement before these things turn the corner.
I'd like to stand or lay close to the ground, holding my spork out to try to trip them.
Ooh.
Make a stealth check.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's an impressive 4.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yep.
Angie, Blueberry, what are you guys up to?
Angie's gonna kind of like puff up her face. And she's like, kids, hide or something, hide. And then she's gonna like, I'm gonna use symbiotic entity, and I'm basically gonna put extra 12 temp HP on, and just have my halo of spores kind of like ready. And she's gonna kind of puff herself up and kind of just stand like trying to look chill, like leaning up against the wall, just like, so if they come around, she'd be like, hey, what's up?
Amazing. Blueberry.
I'm gonna go hide, but before I do, I'm gonna whip my tail back and give Angie a little, like a little towel snap with my, just a little one,
Hey,
with
woo.
my tail, and I'm gonna cast Long Strider on her. So
Ooh,
your speed is increased by 10 feet until the spell ends.
nice.
Ooh,
Very
moving.
Okay, make a stealth check with advantage.
As a 20.
Lumbering down the alley, these two capybaras turn the corner, and one of them stops, looks down at Shoo. The other one, seeing Angie, kind of like elbows. Hey, look at this over here, boss. We got what is this? We got a little rat with wings, and we got a little pigeon trying to look like a tough pigeon.
I'm napping. And she will tilt her head to the side and try to look like she's falling asleep.
Hey, I'm a tough bird, yeah?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Why don't you get a little bit closer and find out?
Hey, you hear this? She says, why don't we get a little bit closer? What do you hear this about this? Hey, this pigeon's out of crazy talk. Make an intimidation check.
Come on, roll high. I'm counting on you.
No, I got a 7.
Seven's
The
all
one
around.
time I have him rolling like 18s and stuff.
They could roll low. We don't know. We don't know.
They could get that one.
One of the capybaras reaches into his vest, pulls out what looks like a wine bottle that has been broken, and now it's just sort of like a big piece of shard of glass with the handle as the neck of the bottle. The other one takes out a human device and clicks it. A little blade sticks out. Hey, you're really scary. Why don't you give us that nice little jacket you got there? And he points the knife out at you, Shoo.
Oh, no, this is a cape.
Hey, a cape, a jacket. What am I, a textile guy?
No.
Either way,
look like a
let me
tailor.
have it. It looks nice. It'll make a good napkin for my next meal. I'll put it around my neck. It'll be real cute. Keep my fur all clean when I'm eating.
But then I'll get cold.
That sounds like a you problem, kid.
Hey,
It is.
you want to take that? You're going to have to come through me first.
Oh. Excuse me, I didn't realize that we were talking to you.
Angie's going to chicken head bob her way over to the and if they are within 10 feet, they have to get some necrotic damage. Halo of Spores is just, I can use my reaction to deal damage to any creature that is within 10 feet of me. And they have to, it's a con saving throw, DC 13.
All right, let me roll for both of them. That's a 2. And that is a 11.
I'm puffed up, so I'm extra stinky. I can do some extra damage. So let me, so 5 damage to 1, and then 2 damage to the other one.
Yeah.
Because I rolled 2 1s. Yay! But as I get close, just this waft of like rancid, rotting kind of smell drifts up through their nostrils.
You see them both like, ah! And one of them starts like itching at himself, and they're like, hey, what is this, boss? This is some biological warfare. Hey, there's rules. That's it. You're going to pay. And they lean forward loomingly, and I need everybody to roll.
Yay!
Initiative.
That's right. We're ready for this.
We are so ready. We got a snake waiting in the shadows and everything. Oh shit!
Oh shit, Shoo.
Yeah, fuck.
Nat 20.
Nat 20?
No one hurts Angie.
Nice. I got a 19.
As a gloom stalker, Jesus, y'all. I could use Dread Ambusher,
Ooh.
so I can add my Wisdom modifier to my roll. So my roll is 24.
Oh shit.
So plus 2, and for my my first turn, my speed is increased by 10 feet.
These capybaras don't know what they're getting themselves into.
Blueberry. Angie and Shoo, you don't know them that well yet, but they're 2 of the first creatures that have shown you some kindness since you've been forced out of your home.
My sisters in crime.
And while you have spent most of your life not particularly being a hunter, you are a python. You are a hunter. You are an ambush predator, and something clicks in you, some ancient primal thing. And as soon as these capybaras lunge towards Angie and Shoo, before you even know what's happening, you are reacting. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
So from the shadows, you're going to hear, "Don't hurt them!" And she opens her mouth really, really wide and strikes forward. And out of her mouth is this like kind of smoky fogginess that is aimed directly at the capybara. So this is going to be a dex save.
That's a natural 1 from one of them, and a 11 from the other.
Yes.
Nice.
Cool. So that is 4 points of damage. And then for my second attack, she's gonna go in. She's gonna whip out her dagger with her tail, and she's gonna slash forward towards whichever one is closest to her.
Make an attack with advantage.
Okay, does an 18 hit?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, yeah.
I got 11.
11? That's very good.
So when she strikes forward with her, I'm going to call it venom breath because she's a snake. She lunges
Snake.
forward. Snake. As she's doing that, her tail is coming up behind. And when she pulls back after the breath, she's going to shoot her tail forward to stick it into the side of the capybara and then wrench it out.
Hey, what the heck was that over there? As the capybara winces over.
So I've never done that before. You're not allowed to hurt them. They're my friends.
All right, Shoo.
Mm-hmm.
You see all of this happening literally above you
Yeah.
as you were crouched down with your sport. What would you like to do?
sneak attack. She'll yell out. It's not a sneak attack. She doesn't have that. But she's going to yell out sneak attack and whip out that spork and stab it into the toe of the capybara right in front of her.
All right, give me an attack roll.
I will. It's another nat 20.
Yeah!
Let's go!
Yes.
All right, so
Nat 20 with the spork. Yeah.
So if we do the two-handed one, that's 12. So then double would be 24.
nice.
Very
Jeez
good. Holy
Louise.
shit. Take off a toe.
As you stab into this one's leg, it goes, ah! My foot over here! What are you doing to me? And it looks to it and says, boss, maybe this ain't our fight. And the boss is like, hey, keep it together. It's a bunch of kids. And he's like, I'm barely keeping it together. I got like 5 hit points left.
I'll pull out the little spork out of his foot. I may be a fruit bat, but tonight I'll be a vampire bat. And she'll like stab it down like a small trident, just marking her ground.
Amazing.
That's so
amazing.
good. Holy shit.
All right, Angie, it is your turn.
Seeing like these 2 attacks, like so I think to the same capybara, she is going to basically swing her peg leg around and just try and like whoop-ha! Like up into its face, like with a bit of a like chicken jump. And I'm gonna use shillelagh to like
Amazing. Amazing.
Does a 24 hit?
Oh my god.
Of course a 24 hits.
Does this hit?
Its armor is a leather jacket.
So that is a 6 in total for this thing that hopefully only has 5 HP left if he was telling the truth.
He had only 5 hit points left.
Amazing.
Describe how you take down this capybara.
Yeah.
I think Angie's just gonna be like, I told you I was a tough bird, and then just like, what? And then just like, you know how they do like the freeze frame and the 360 camera, like like going around, she's like, Wah-bah! And just like smack this capybara in the face with her peg leg.
The rain slows as the foot like through the droplets and the capybara flips over itself. Have you ever seen like you know how when little animals fight they kind of lose physics?
Yeah.
Like physics
Yes.
stops mattering. It goes like stiff, it like flies off and like hits the wall and sort of like lands on the ground. It's still alive, but it's breathing heavily. It's like looks like you knocked him out cold.
And with my spores still active, gonna do that 3-point landing, and then as she kind of hits the ground, the poof of the spore to hopefully try and hit the other one.
Is that another saving throw?
Yeah, con 13 saving throw.
That is a 19, unfortunately.
Resists this time.
In watching this, Shoo goes, "You are amazing," and will bow towards Angie.
The capybara that's still standing, the one with the human weapon, gonna look at his companion who's knocked unconscious, kind of crack his neck. You new, kid. It's fine. I'll take care of business myself. And he flips the knife, and with his first attack, he tries to stab down at Shoo.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Spork.
That is a 14 to hit.
14 matches.
Ah, shit.
You take 13 damage from the first hit.
Okay.
And then he pulls the knife out, swings it around in his hand so the blade is up facing, and he's going to try to stab forward at you, Angie. That's 13.
Oh, it misses.
So he swings over you and you duck under. And with his bonus action, he is going to use his capybara powers, and he is going to lean up to his vest, and he's going to flip up the collar so that it looks a little bit more menacing.
Oh, shit.
What?
That is
What?
And then just like,
you know, like a leather jackets have like that collar. He like
pops
flips
the
it
collar.
up.
I'm sorry, these
Pops the collar.
these are special powers of capybaras.
The capybara.
Is flipping up their collar?
And as he does, you can see that he is invigorated by the power of his ancestors and his family and all the capybara before him. And then it Blueberry. It is your turn again.
Okay.
Go on, Blueberry. Fuck him up.
How dare he? How dare he? And she'll slither back out from the shadows, and I'm gonna do an unarmed strike, but she's gonna open her mouth again and try to lock down on his arm.
I feel like your name of unarmed strike has a different meaning. I just had to call that out.
Right, so she lashes out and bites down on his forearm. Tries to 16.
16 hits.
Awesome. Okay, so that's 5 points of damage.
5 damage?
Yes.
All right.
And
As you bite into this thing, something about that collar pop. This character is invigorated. And he's only going to take half damage from that damage.
Okay. Well, she tastes his nasty fur and capybara blood. She's gonna regurgitate just like a little bit of her poison into him and cast Hunter's Mark.
Awesome. You lash out and bite into this now raged up capybara. Next is going to be Shoo.
She's gonna first yell out, You're just as bad as those terrible D&D rats. And I'm gonna go and with both hands running in full throttle, trying to stab with that spork.
Yes.
Pointy ends facing towards the capybara. I figured that helps with the stabbing part. 16?
16 hits.
Nice.
That two-handed damage, 7 points of slashing damage. I can see why you wanted my cloak, because your jacket looks real stupid.
Hey, the greasy tenders ain't nothing like the scavenger dandies. Don't you say that. Take that back. Greasy tenders for life. Angie, it is your turn.
Angie is going to see that kind of like the physical hits seem to not be doing so much. She's going to use Chill Touch. So she's going to kind of puff her feathers up and kind of touch his fur and kind of like let the mites and stuff just sort of like, all the gross stuff just kind of like leech onto him a little bit.
Awesome.
Fucking nat 20 for a 25.
Yeah, that hits. and you double your damage.
Oh shit. All right.
Amazing. Most badass pigeon.
Yeah, 16 damage as she...
As you let your pests sort of reach out and grab hold of this creature, you see him sort of stumble back, like, sort of like trying to wipe mites off. He puts his hands up. He drops the blade to the ground. Dung, 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 dung. Hey, listen, I'm sorry. I don't want no trouble. Mostly we were here to investigate what was going on with the scavenger dandies, and we're not trying to start nothing, so let's maybe let bygones be bygones.
I tell you what, we'll let you live if you tell us what's been going on with the dandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna hold a stinky like finger towards him threateningly.
The boss would kill me if he found out I told anybody what was going on. You promise not to tell anybody?
No.
I promise. Promise. Pinky swear.
All right. I'll talk. You pulled it out of me. You twisted it out of me. It was in me, and here it comes.
Yeah,
it's going to be emerging.
Right. Get to the
through
get
all
to
of
the
this.
Talking.
Give me a minute. And he like sits down. It's like takes a breath. And it's like, ay. Kids these days, they hit like a truck. Hey, Scambo, you good? And you, Scambo, like, yeah, boss. Give me a minute. I'll be good. I'm just gonna sleep over here until you're done talking over there, and then you come over here, and then you take me home or whatever, and maybe we have some tea and maybe a biscotti, and we could just sort of like chill for the rest of the night. Yeah, no, you did good. You did good, Scambo. You did good.
Missing toes.
You didn't hear this from me.
Mm-mm.
In fact, you didn't hear this from any capybara this side Agravar.
Listen, my beak is sealed, yeah?
But all the biggest hotspots in town. We're talking the butcher. We're talking the cheese spot. We're talking that one place that has all the sandwiches. You know the one.
Yeah.
You know the one. And he points at Shoo as if, like, Shoo should know the one. You know the one.
I know the one.
Of course you do. It's what they got, the cheese and the meat. Best combination this side of the city.
Yeah. I don't know the one. I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, word on the street is that the rats, specifically the scavenger dandies, if you're familiar, have been trying to take over new territory. But here's the thing. Every time they take over a new joint, poof, the food becomes garbage. And I don't mean the kind of garbage that we love, which is what is food to me and you most of the time. I mean, it goes from top quality slices, top quality meats, smoke to everything as far as the eye can see, garbage cans you wouldn't believe, to nothing. Dry as a bone. Some of the joints even stay open. But whatever food they making, it ain't getting sent to their trash. And we heard from some of the owls. You know the owls. You know the ones. He keeps pointing at you. You know the ones. This guy knows what's up.
Owls.
Yeah,
Woohoo.
exactly. That's right. Yeah. They've been saying that at every one of these joints that's been locking up tighter than your grandma's chamoon.
My grandma's what?
Don't worry about it. You'll find out when you're older.
Oh.
You're going to tell her about it. That's an important part of growing up. Somebody's got to guide you. There's a big part of life, which is going from a child to an adult. You're not there yet. But you will be one day. And it's always good to have a strong role model when you go through that process that can help guide you in uncertain times.
Listen, I appreciate it, yeah? But stay on track.
Oh,
What's this
right.
about it?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm a family man. So when I see situations of youth entering into adulthood, it's important to me that they have strong
This
role
is getting a
models,
bit-
and I just
little
wanted
bit
to
creepy.
reiterate
Yeah,
that I think that's a pretty good thing.
Is my grandma still a part of this, or?
No,
Best not to think about it, kid.
no,
Oh.
your grandma's probably dead. But that's neither here nor there. What is here nor there is that every one of these spots that closed up, Owl's been seeing rats. But not just any rats. I'm talking them little bowler hat boys. You know the ones.
I do.
The scavenger dandies. Those some nasty folks. I hope none of y'all ever had to deal with them. You know, in the past, they mostly stick to the sewers, you know? They're the real rough and tumble types.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're messing with what's going down below the below. So it's rare seeing them up here unless they got some business to take care of. So me and my assistant over here, and he was like, we was supposed to be scoping this joint because word on the street is it was a spot that was potentially going to have some primo trash. We were keeping an eye out for some scavenger dandies. And I must admit, looking for some trouble to get into because we had been standing here all night and we were bored and we are not particularly moral people.
You're not people.
That's a good point. But I'd like to consider myself as fairly personified. Maybe I'm not people, but I like to think I have a strong personality.
It's okay. I know a dog who also thought they were people.
Hey, you know a dog that's a good friend to have. Tell you what, they're looking for some work. You let me know. Tell them the greasy tenders will pay a dog good for a little bit of enforcement work if that's the kind of thing they're into.
Oh, okay. I have a question though.
Yeah.
If the rats, those scavenger dandies, if they keep closing out all the good food, where are we all supposed to get food?
I don't know. And where's the food going?
Why Blueberry slithers out of the shadows? Are the so the rat, do they eat they're eating all the food and then they shut down and then they start making bad. Why would the rats do that?
I don't know. I mean, some of the bosses think maybe the rats are trying to get all the primo food. I mean, there's still stuff in the garbage. You can still find some scraps if you want. But let me tell you, once you've had a bite of a calzone, once you've had a bite of some smoked Gouda, once you've had a bite of a nice, a nice spicy salami, you don't want to go back to just eating, well, garbage.
All right, well, off you go.
It was nice meeting you. And she'll run up to offer her hand to shake.
He sort of steps back in fear at this tiny little rat. It was nice to meet you too, young lady. And listen, you take care of these two, okay?
Okay.
It's tough out here in these streets. There's tough guys walking around.
Sorry about your foot, by the way.
Sorry about the offensive comment I made about taking your cloak. You see, I am impressed by power. So now that you've shown your power, I will show you respect. It's not a particularly healthy way to live, but I am aware of it, and I'm trying to work through it, and hopefully one day I will learn to respect people for their identities as opposed to just the power that they can inflict upon me. But for now, that is enough. Good day.
Good night.
A good night. And he sort of scampers off and gets his buddy, puts him over his shoulder, and they start making their way.
Fantastic. Amazing.
Run away from the children.
They're creeping me out.
I'm curious, as you guys make your way through the city to the park, which is where Angie's contact is, what are your characters thinking about?
I think Angie has had her fair share of scraps before, having to fight over food or just kind of make herself as intimidating as possible so she doesn't get any more. Because she's had to fend for herself so much. It's just been I need to present myself as big and scary so I don't get attacked. And then the occasions that she does, she will have to basically fight for her life in some instances. So it's always gonna get her anxiety going, because it's scary, it is. But she hides it very well now.
Blueberry's shaking a little bit, as she's slithering. She's kind of vibrating and thinking about how scary that was and how she hurt somebody, because she's always, I'm never supposed to bite anyone. That's real bad. That's super bad. And then she's also thinking about how much she wishes Lucy could have seen how cool she looked and how cool her friends are.
She had been riding this high of adrenaline rush and excitement. She had been in small little encounters before, of course, supporting the scavenger dandies on little things, but more as a scout or a runner or a little sneak to get in, but never in the actual physicality of it. And so kind of leaning there against her spork and slowing down, suddenly she realizes that she had been hit. She'd been stabbed, and suddenly all that wave of pain comes over her, kind of starting from over on her side where she'd been stabbed, and it kind of and her eyes start to well up, and she bites her lip, trying to hold back a little whimper of a sound, trying to still be tough in this moment.
Hey, kid, you all right?
I'm okay. I'm very strong.
Listen, I know you strong because you're part of my gang, right? But where? Let me get a look. Hang on. Come on.
Okay. And she'll kind of open up her wing, and you can see along the side where that slash came in.
Yoopy. Because Angie's been on the streets a little bit, she's had to tend to her own wounds and her own stumps on occasion. She is going to cast Cure Wounds on Shoo. Boop, boop. You get 8 HP back, if that's helpful.
That is very helpful.
Amazing.
I mean, I was over a half dead, so.
Oh shit!
This was very nice to have.
There you go. Might sting a little bit. Hang on. They just patch it up a little bit. like a little bit of the pink ribbon to sort of like tying it around.
That's so much better. Am I gonna get a lot of these?
Yeah, probably, but it'll heal. It'll go away.
That looked really dangerous. We want to make sure it doesn't get infected.
Oh.
Hang on.
Wait,
It's like spits and like cleans it a little bit.
yeah. Oh, here. Wait. And she'll kind of Blueberry will like drag her body on the cement or concrete or dirt a little bit and like shed like a chunk of her skin.
Oh shit.
Yeah. What if we put it like a patch?
Oh my gosh, you gave me your flesh?
I don't know how well it'll help, but it might keep the dirt out. Lucy always said when you lose some of your flesh, she always took care of, made sure that I wasn't getting any cuts or anything. So we gotta protect it.
I mean, listen, putting skin where the skin is missing makes sense to me.
Yeah, you
She'll
give
put
me
it
a
underneath
leg.
the ribbon.
I give you some of my skin.
Shoo just starts tearing up.
Oh, shit.
We're taking care of each other. Oh, you have to do it. This is a very dangerous place. Those capybaras weren't very nice, and those D&Ds weren't very nice. You two are the only nice ones I've met so far.
Listen, when you're part of Angie's gang, yeah, you get looked after, and that's the Angie guarantee.
Oh, we're in a gang.
Yeah, you gotta be in a gang on the streets.
Wow. Oh, Angie's gang.
Angie's like, yeah, fuck.
They're original AGs. Oh.
Recruit young.
Oh my God. Little childlike soldiers. This is great. This is fine.
We're all children surviving and banding together.
Yes.
That's right.
You guys have a little bit of a rally as you make your way through the city. It feels good to be able to help someone. It feels good to be helped and to be able to even just share in acknowledging that. And as silly as it is, there probably is a little bit of truth to that feeling of like, it's good to have my gang. It's good to have my people. And it's good to not be taking this journey alone, whatever it is. And you make your way to one of Agravar's central parks. A park that takes up about a city block and has these big hills to it. The park itself is quiet. It is rainy, but it is quiet. You see large twisting trees. There are these covered lamps that are, some of them are gaslight. There are other ones that look like they are torches, but with a little special like cover over them. So there is ambient light throughout. There is a path that rolls along these hills and a small artificial pond that was put in by the city with a little fountain on it. And on a bench by that pond, you see something that, for you, Angie, is not so unusual, but to everyone else is a rather strange sight. You see a tiny, old woman. She looks small, even for a human. And she is sitting back, sort of watching the rain, and there are two things that you notice about her immediately before you get anywhere near her. The first one is that she has one of those big push carts. You can't exactly see what's in it, but hanging off the side is a shield. And it is the same sort of shield that you would see on wardens. The other thing that you notice is that the rain is not falling on her. It is as if there is a giant umbrella over where she is, and the rain is crashing against it and rolling to the sides and creating these sheets of water. So while it is raining quite hard, the area that she is sitting in seems quite dry, and she seems quite pleasant as she's just sort of sitting, watching the night sky, watching the storm roll over.
There she is, guys. She's gonna sort of scootle closer because obviously I think Angie's very used to this and has seen it a couple of times before. And is gonna kind of quickly duck through the waterfall that it's kind of creating with this little invisible umbrella and shake off her feathers, take off her hat again, and sort of like step forward. Good evening.
And she looks down. She speaks human when she says this, but all of you can hear the words sort of twist in a way that you can almost perceive the meaning. It's as if there's something about the way that she talks that makes you be able to understand not the words she's saying, but the intention.
Mm.
And she says, wah, 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 wah. And you get the idea of this sentiment of, what are you doing out?
Angie's gonna well, I'm here with my new gang, like my sisters, innit? And then she's gonna like come on in to Blueberry and Shoo.
Shoo will take off her hat, and inside is still bread, so she will offer the tiny crumbs of
crumbs coming out.
Yeah, little beret bread crumbs.
And she looks down and over, and you can see she has odd proportions. Her head is really big for her body. This is probably a gnome. She looks down, and in that same tone, wah, 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 wah. And the idea is like, look at these cute little guys. They must be hungry. And you see her reach into her little pocketbook.
Take off my tinfoil hat, hold it out.
And she pulls out some candies, and
Oh,
she
amazing.
opens them. And then she reaches into her carriage that she pulls with her, and she pulls out a giant warhammer.
What in the Mary Poppins?
Yeah, puts them on the ground and like very carefully crank and smashes the hard candy into like little pieces, and it almost splits apart like a chocolate orange. And she takes the little pieces and she like sprinkles them on the ground. She goes, "There you go, creatures."
Oh.
Wah, 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 wah.
This shit's so good. Oh, before I get distracted by the good candies, because it's easy to do and I'm a bit distractible, you know, being a pigeon. She's gonna hold out the scroll that she's been kind of carrying that might have a couple of little fleas on it now, but
She reaches over with a gnarled old hand and holds onto the shield. And for the briefest second, the shield glows a little bit as you feel a little bit of magic sort of surge through her. And then she speaks again, but this time when she speaks, you can understand her clear as day as she casts Speak with Animals.
Yeah.
And she says, "Oh, it's not often that a wee little bird brings a bit of paper. What's going on?" And she sort of starts to reach for the paper. "Is everything all right?"
well, the chef god man, the one who gives me the bread in the evenings, he kind of had this thing.
"Darling, we've talked about this. We're not gods. We're just big."
But he gave food.
But he got taken away by a bunch of men in really big boots and with like the picture on that has the same picture as like Lucy has on. And then we found this piece of paper and we're wondering what it's all about and where he's gone. Maybe we can get him back so he can keep giving us bread.
It's a whole lot of things that you just said. Let me take a look. Also, hello there. And she sort of looks down at you, Blueberry. It's unusual to see a python in this city. Are you lost?
Yeah. I am lost. And that's my owner, Lucy. That the crest is, I seen that at home.
This is the Karina family crest. Did you live with the Karina family?
I lived with Lucy. There's two other big, like really big humans that I think they own Lucy.
No, well, that's Abigail and Arnold Karina. Rather important council folk in the city, actually.
Well, they didn't like me very much, so I kind of always stayed out of the way.
How did you end up on the street?
The big ones, they, I thought they were taking me on a field trip, and they pulled me out of my aquarium, and they brought me away from the house and set me on the ground, and then I tried to follow, but they were so fast, and then there were capybara, and then there were a lot of people walking around, and there were a lot of things happening, and I stayed in a tin can for a little bit, and then I tried to find some food, and then I met these guys.
People can be so misunderstanding. And she, like, in almost a moment of anger, she, like, grabs the pommel of her warhammer and, like, slams it into the ground. And when it does,
Ugh.
there's, like, a little, like, goof of, like, radiant light.
Oh, they're not all bad. Lucy's really, really kind. She bathes me, and she takes care of me, and she helps me when I shed and when my skin falls off, and she hugs me.
Well, Lucy might be kind, but it seems that her parents, it looks like your Lucy's parents got this baker conscripted into military service.
What? What does that mean?
It says that he is to become the head pastry chef for the Imperial forces in Agravar. That means the folks in the soldier outfits.
Oh.
He didn't want to do that, though. They took him, and the
What?
rats had something to do with it. I'm sure of it. And you can see Shoo's just starting to become a little more aggravated and a little more accusatory in this space. What do you know about the rats?
They have not been in my park in weeks.
They've been doing some weird stuff, apparently. Like, the capybara was saying that they've been doing something to, like, the food places, like the restaurants and that. And then, like, once they got involved, like, the restaurant started, like, selling, like, really bad food, and there was, like, nothing left in the garbage and that. And then they're, like, taking the food.
You see her, like, thinking for a while. She looks at the paper again, and she sort of taps her finger on it. The Carinos, they're connected to this. This is not rat writing. This is human writing. This is a family seal. This is a military seal.
Oh.
I don't know how they would be involved. Oh, if only I was 30 years younger. I'd storm over to their house, I'd kick the door in, I'd demand answers, but... And she sort of looks down at her old fingers. I'm a bit out of the game.
What can we do? How do we get our chef friend back?
Do we storm the doors?
You have feet. Shoo has feet. And so does Angie.
Yeah, we could kick down the door.
I don't know if kicking down the door is what I would suggest you guys do, although I do think it's a wonderful idea, and I love the enthusiasm. But you said you know these people, yes? They were your family?
Oh, Lucy.
I'm going to give you something. I need you to keep very careful protection of it. I've only got one left. And she reaches into her bag and she pulls out a weird looking... It sort of looks like a box that's made like it was carved to look like it was made of like branches. But it is so nice looking that it's very unclear if it is actually branches that were like grown to be a case or is carved that way. And she pops it open and there is a little green crystal. And she pulls it out. I think that you should go talk to your Lucy and see if you can figure out what is happening, what the connection is here. Sometimes, if there's an animal problem, an animal solution is what you need.
Hey, I get the best in my gang, yeah? This one's the brains, and this one's the like sneak. They're really good.
Really good.
The AGs.
And she takes the crystal and she puts it on the ground in front of you. And she says, with this crystal, it will allow you to talk to that Lucy in the way that you can talk to me one time. So
okay.
make it count. Because once it's done, it's done.
Gonna kind of tie it around in some of the pink ribbon and tie it around Blueberry's neck.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's so pretty.
When you see Lucy, you're going to give it to her. When she holds it, she will be able to talk to you. She looks at you again, Angie. This is going to be dangerous. You guys sure you're up for it?
Yeah.
As long as we're together.
Yeah, we already roundhouse kicked a capybara in the face. And she took off some of its toes. And she was like stabbing it out of the dark. That was crazy.
That's crazy. Little high fives all around. Like reaches down, gives little high fives.
With her tail.
Just with a finger like...
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice and gentle. It's really kind of cute. I like to boop all the animals now.
High five.
I can give you directions to their estate. But before I do, I just want to reiterate, it is not your responsibility to solve human problems. If you don't want to do this, you do not have to do this.
Well, the chef didn't have to help with our food problem, but he did. So if he has a problem, then it's our problem.
If Lucy's involved, then it's a family problem, and we gotta fix it.
And you know, someone's got to look after these two, right? So...
I'm not to be trusted by myself.
But then she looks to you, Shoo. But I feel like you sound like somebody that has a very good head on their shoulders.
Thank you, I haven't lost it yet.
Oh, what's your name again?
Oh, my name's Beatrice.
Beatrice.
Beatrice the Reader.
Yeah. You're very powerful.
Oh, you're too kind.
All right. I think it's time we go. Let's get this sorted before the conscription happens to the
Conscription.
Conscription.
yeah.
Conscription.
Well, in the human world, there is a lot of bureaucracy. So hopefully there's still something that can be done before anything is finalized.
Okay.
All
To
right,
Lucy's then.
Let's go to Lucy's.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy's.
To Lucy's.
Angie's gonna nod in her little chicken head nod and puff up her chest, put her top hat back on, and head out into the rain.
Wait up! And she will follow, crawling behind.
Oh, maybe I should have casted that 10-foot spell on you.
Just fast forward, like the head bobbing, like.
Gone.
All right. Following Beatrice's directions, you guys make your way through Agravar, trying as close to can to follow the paths she suggested. You do your best to avoid human traffic, but you mostly go unnoticed even by the few humans that do pass you by. Until you get to a quiet street, sort of off the main road, where every house has massive fences, iron picket spikes, little bits of gold embroidery. There's 5 or 6 of them, and each one takes up almost the amount of space as some of the city blocks that are more densely packed ones. And as you make your way down the road, you spot the one that has the Karina family crest. And you see in front of the gate 2 things. A little hutch with a roof over it, and a human guard sitting under the hutch with a massive pike at his side. He's got a little lantern, and it looks like he's reading something. And sitting behind him, with pinprick ears that are shifting ever back and forth, and dark black eyes, a massive jet black dog